Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Scale Smart podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and also the founder of Next Scale Growth. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Milan Vlček, the founder and CEO of TopLeader. Milan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Jacob.
Pleasure to have you on. Milan, before we get into the flow of the podcast, do you mind explaining to me and also the audience a little bit of your background and what you guys do at TopLeader?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the opportunity. Always happy to introduce us. So I'm, as you mentioned, Milan, founder and CEO of TopLeader. And at TopLeader, we develop a digital platform for personal and leadership development. So it's about the platform where employees, managers of different companies can log in and do the diagnostics for them. So seeing what their talents are, what their values are. They can also manage and track their progress there, so that we also replicate it there, how usually coaching sessions happen, so that every user can set their area of the development and then further on carry on with long-term goal, short-term goal. We have implemented also micro-learning there, so everyone's got their unique path, and every user sees different journeys towards to their goals. And not to forget, we have it connected also to more than 200 coaches and experts globally, so that this gives another great opportunity for people to develop themselves.
Amazing. And what was the mission behind founding TopLeader, and what does your role typically consist of, being the CEO and the founder?
Mhm. We would have to go back to 2018 when we started to develop the initial application, and that was mobile application, and this one was meant for well-being and mental health. And as we launched it the following year, we started to focus first on B2C and individuals, and soon after that we realized we need to also invite companies, so that to make this um, initiative viable. And we started to receive this valuable feedback from companies, so that what they really needed was their managers to become better leaders. And for us, this was this aha moment when we realized, okay, so let's focus on this. Let's build a brand new platform. Let's do the rebranding. That's why it's called TopLeader now. And yeah, we launched it last year, back in 2024, and since then we've been inviting dozens of companies to pilot projects, and those becoming also regular clients. So iterating, always improving, getting the feedback, and trying to make the best out of it, so that it serves very well to every end user.
Amazing. And Milan, you've built TopLeader into a robust platform with AI diagnostic, and also that global expert network. Scaling a business within that must come with challenges, and it must come with hurdles to get over. So, if you could go back in time, Milan, and name a few challenges you had back then and how you overcome them challenges, and then from that as well, can you also list some of the challenges which you guys are seeing right now in order to scale the business to the next level?
Yeah, sure. If we go back last year, when there was this hype of LLMs and all these AI chatbots, it came very in handy to TopLeader, when we realized that actually, when I mentioned that every user's got their the possibility to set their area of the development and the long-term goal, short-term goal, in each and every of this step, it was about every user to think what he actually should write down, like what should this be built on. And we were very happy that these AI chatbots appeared, because as we were able to test it and iterate it, and with proper prompt engineering, we were then able to bring to every user the opportunity to get relevant and well-formulated suggestions for all of these steps, so that they don't have to spend 10 minutes thinking, okay, and how should I now write my long-term goal? What should it focus on and how it should be formulated? Now they can get the different suggestions from the platform. And yeah, it doesn't have to be the copy paste, but at least they get some inspiration. And this is just a great example how AI, as we face it nowadays, can be implemented with a good balance, so not overwhelming. Everyone's now thinking about like how to implement AI most effectively, and just somewhere it just doesn't fit. And on our side, it's about finding the paths and spaces where this makes difference, and where this makes an impact.
Definitely. And I think that's one thing which a lot of people kind of overcomplicate and get wrong. And I think in order to get into the right industry and target the right people, you need to go off the data which you've already got. And obviously, for a startup, this would be completely different because obviously you've got no data. But I've seen it happen so many times where like businesses have tried to go into like 5 different markets, like accounting, logistics, finance, all of these different ones. And they're like, why can't I close a deal? And I'm like, well, every single one of these industries have a different decision maker, they have a different sales process, they have different pain points, they have different needs. And it's like, just focus on 1 to 2, which you're getting really good traction from. Then you'll start to see things scale. And I think that's what a lot of people get wrong at the start as well.
Yeah, can happen. Of course, it depends specifically on each and every business case. So, for instance, in our case, when it comes to people development, it can be applied across all different industries. We've got clients from logistics, finance, and yeah, many more. And we see that it's easily adopted in companies where people use technology like laptops every day, so that it's for them like a natural use when having these kind of online sessions and meeting, for instance, coaches and mentors. So this makes sense. On the other hand, yeah, it's not a piece of cake to build your own company. So I can understand maybe those cases that you mentioned. They are just trying to find the fit and what makes sense for them. So yeah, it's also the case for us when we are aware that we need to be innovative, that we need to be different from the competitors, and we are also trying different ways. So yeah, I guess this is a natural evolvement.
Yeah, yeah. And would you say you guys have balanced the rapid growth by ensuring you still keep high quality personalization, especially as you guys serve, let's say, such diverse organizations?
Yeah, it's challenging, of course, as any other entrepreneurship, and you need to understand what are the pain points of the companies that you try to deal with. Listen carefully, being patient as well, which is not always very easy when you need to generate revenue. But especially in our case, as I can speak about HR services and learning and development field where we are active, it's a lot about building the rapport with the decision makers. And when we focus on middle and large companies, it's also time consuming, and you have to understand that the sales cycles are quite long. So all of these aspects are clear. And yeah, then if you are a startup, of course, you also need to focus on different sized companies, so also include those small ones, which may be easier to get first. But yeah, from like business wise, it's not that interesting as if you close the deal with a big company, of course.
Mm, mm. And with many other solutions becoming available now, Milan, how would you say you guys are making sure you stand out, especially with like the AI you guys are using? How are you guys leveraging that to make sure that you're standing out against all these other tools and platforms which are available?
Mm. Yeah, I have to say, Jacob, that now we have already face to face where we don't have to like look and do the mystery shopping of the competitors. Of course, it's very important to be aware like of what is going on, what is trending on the market. But once you establish your business a little bit, you can deal with the issues that you are hearing. So yeah, competitors are trying different things. For instance, in our case, we know that a lot of competitors are moving a lot into space of having the chatbots as coaches, and yeah, I would say that it might be beneficial in some way, but
Mm,
there are dozens, maybe hundreds of different initiatives nowadays when it's so easy to implement these AI chatbots. So you cannot differentiate much more there. And in contrary, I would say yes, AI is here. We can use it wisely. We can use it where it makes sense. Nevertheless, we are still humans, and we also like to interact with other humans. So, considering that we can have a chat, you also met a lot of avatars throughout this and last year, and you can sense that it's something unnatural. Maybe if you call with an operator, you can sense that it's a robot. It can serve well for certain activities, but when it comes to you and your path and your growth, something where you need to consider also your background. Um, how can you build this rapport with only like AI avatar? It's
mm.
artificial. It's not that easy to adapt to. Okay, so when when there's this human touch, it's always better for sure. So
Yeah, definitely. And I think you made a really, really good point there as well with like the robotic and people on the phone and chatbots and things like that. And I always say, for example, when you're trying to deal with like Amazon support or you're trying to deal with another chatbot which you know is built on AI, I'm always just saying chat to an associate, transfer me to associate, because I know I'm going to get the answer so much quicker.
mm,
Because if it's something really, really basic, then obviously I think an AI can do it.
mm,
But when you're trying to ask really complex questions, you just kind of go around in circles. So I'm just like, transfer me to an associate straight away so I can get it done with. And especially like you mentioned about like the phone as well.
mm,
And I think I've seen videos of people having like a booking system and having an AI deal with it. And it's just like, even if the AI can do what the human can do, which realistically is just finding out what they want and booking it in,
mm,
it's just the fact of knowing you're speaking to a human which makes the experience so much better. And I
mm,
think it will increase your actual booking rate
mm,
if you actually had someone on the phone. I
mm,
don't think AI is at the stage yet where you can actually sound like a proper human
mm,
over the phone listening
mm,
to people. I think it's at the stage where it can take in the information and it can book what you need, but I don't think it's at the stage yet where it sounds like me picking up the phone or yourself, Milan, picking up
yeah,
the phone.
yeah.
Proper voicial expressions
Mm,
and expressions in your tone of voice and the language. And I think it can just put the customer off so much.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely for the time being, yes. For the future, let's see. The question is, I can imagine there are tasks that are managed solely by AI and by technology, and we will adapt to that and we will accept it, and it will be nice. These booking things. For instance, I tried I don't know, a month ago, using AI agents to create an upgrade. I get actually two tasks. One was to create a form where we can get the leads from our web, and this was the task that I gave it to AI agent, and it surprised me. It worked well. It performed step by step what I needed to do, and maybe even more. And the result was good. There was just something simple that I need to tweak. But the other task was, okay, so we got now the design in Figma, and we need to replicate this and upgrade our web page, one of the pages. And the same AI agent, where it was like a disaster. I can say, like 15 minutes work, and it was duplicating things, and
Oh
the
no.
only thing what it could do, it was to put their title, and there was another text over this, and when I looked at it, I was like, wow. So that's a totally different story. So maybe the system was too complex.
Mm.
Nevertheless, yes, these are the tasks where I can imagine that it can be helpful. And as I explained on the first case, it was very much helpful. So uh, if we consider that it will only improve, this is great. But yeah, it's just do this task, do it from A to B, done, great, and I can then take it from there.
Amazing, amazing. And looking into the future now, Milan, in order scaling the company to that next level, could be revenue, growth percentage, headcount, anything in terms of scaling. What would you say are some of the goals you guys have got on the horizon over the next 6 to 12 months or so?
Yeah, there's plenty of those, Jacob. I can say, as a startup, you can imagine myself. I'm like wearing these 6 different hats, and
Yeah.
this would be great if I could delegate more. So definitely, to grow business-wise, and in terms of also clients and users, we got a pile of tasks to be processed on our product, obviously. So that's also something where we need to carry on. And yeah, we started also discussions with investors, so that would be also helpful. And yeah, carry on. Like as we have said it, we are on a good path. It's just yeah, to keep the car rolling.
Amazing. Milan, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you, Jacob, and looking forward to our next discussion sometimes in the future.
Amazing, amazing. If you enjoyed this episode with Milan, I'm going to leave all of his details, LinkedIn, website in the description so you can go and check them out if you're interested. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Scale Smart podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.